Hello. Hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Now, this is the most bizarre thing in the world. The computer runs great. That's fine. I don't know. I've tried everything. I even sent MSI some stuff about it. I flat out told him, I said, look, I've poked at it, tried at it, and I've tried just about everything except for buying new hardware. And it's only got 3,000 hours on it. I think I'll wait for it to start blue screening before I start replacing hardware. And knock on wood, but yeah. It runs fine so far. I mean, it doesn't care. I just don't get it. It's so annoying. It's literally the most annoying bug I've ever experienced in my life on a computer. Ever. Like, it's not even like one of those things where it's like, oh my god, it's slow. No. No. It's fast. It's zoom, zoom, zoom fast. It just doesn't like to shut off. It's just like, oh my gosh, why? Why are you so frustrating and not wanting to turn off? You have one job, and that's to just go bloop. And it doesn't want to go bloop. It's fantastic though. It's a fantastic machine. Looks great. Couldn't run any better. Because if it did, it would run too fast. But for real though, it's annoying, really frustrating. I think a part of me, I have 3 different ideas on what it is. 3. One is Ring 0 is still affecting everyone's computers, just in a different kind of glitch. For some people, it may be audio or something else. It's just, I feel like it's something Ring 0 related still. Maybe not. Maybe it is BIOS. Maybe it is voltage. I don't know. I've tried everything. I've updated all of my equipment. All of it's updated. Unless MSI has some special patch for the graphics card, and it's a firmware BIOS, and I have to reinstall graphics card stuff, and I don't that's like, it's more hair pulling. Yeah, I don't want to do all that. It's just that's voiding my warranty too, if I don't recall. So yeah, I don't know. Eyeballs and brain go blue, because I don't know. Because the computer is just, it runs great. It's just mind-bendingly frustrating. It's like this. What player came here? Is this not mine? No, this is mine. Yes, this is mine. I want to make people clear already, but it's a little hard to say. Where's all the people? Sorry about that. Crazy. Yeah, so. Do you know the way to Ebola land? We got the very Ebola land. 'Cause I'm a Mr. Paperclip in an Ebola land. Mr. Paperclip, he's gonna be a clippy. And Mr. Clippy was the first I discovered. I discovered Mr. Delta. Oh, come on, YouTube, don't be mean. Oh, come on, YouTube, don't be mean. I'm sorry. YouTube was very mean. YouTube, why are you so mean? I'm not even able to have a conversation on here. Are you serious? Bro, all he did was say Clippy. Bro, that blows my mind. Like, all I said was Clippy, and I got disconnected. I got some super fast Wi-Fi. Hey, bro, no. That's funny. No.
Product received.
No.
Product received.
You hear me? I'm gonna say it again. No. What would they do if every YouTuber went and changed their name to Noel? Just like every single channel just changes their name to Noel and has the same profile picture. It would actually be pretty funny. Like, it would be... Because then they would have to go by email address and IP address. Then they would no longer be able to go by YouTuber and YouTuber name and channel name. Then they would have to dive into their actual servers. Be like irritated and frustrated. That'd be pretty funny. Everybody changed their name to Noel. YouTube like dies with the name Noel.
No free slots in suit inventory.
You get like Noel floating in the wind.
Received.
It's a Noel. Do you know what a Noel is? It's something we don't like, and it's a YouTube, cause it's a Noel. Ain't that right, YouTube? Isn't it crazy that we change definitions to words every 3 months? Aren't I fun? Or am I not fun enough? Maybe I'm not fun enough. Maybe fun only comes in the category of one. Because one is only so rare than the other. Does the YouTube algorithm understand what I mean by all is one and one is all? Are you all is one and one is all? Or am I all is one and one is all? Who are we all? Are we all a collective conscious of one? Or are we one of a collective conscious? It's truly mind-bending. That's how fun I can be. See what space games do to people? They make us like aliens.
Product received.
Do you know what an alien is? It's one of the aliens, guys. Very alien. And he goes, it's a gold farm. We're gonna go and get some treasure. That's bad, it's bad. Some treasury is a treasure. The computer crashed so hard on Battlefield 6 it nearly exploded and run fine on No Man's Sky, GTA 5, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Night Read. How fun can it be? Where'd everyone go? Where'd the party be? Oh no, bro. Go away. They're gonna try and get me. Them robots are evil. They're evil Knievel's. Just like my computer is evil Knievel. Does not like to shut down. But yet you will play games. Perfect. It's so I still think it's the file. Hopefully it's not the memory chip of some kind on the board. If so, that could be a problem. But if so, computer should have more subtitles than just a fucking shutdown bug. One fucking shutdown bug be a whole. Wow. Whose idea was to put a shutdown bug on the Engine 80 motorboard? Do you know what an M84 is? It's a very M84 because it goes as a ETA. Do you know the way to the no man? Jonesy Shoreman, no man, no man, Jonesy Shoreman. No man, let me stand. Do you know the way to Ebola land? Do you know the way to Driverland? Driverland, Driverman, of the Highman, cause it's a segment, cause a segment be a man. Hurry! You're too slow at warping. Go faster. We're here to make some money and sell some treasure. You know what the treasure though? The very treasury. You know the way to the treasure. Cause there's nothing but treasure.
Units proceed.
I just made a bunch of money. Oh boy, we get to go on a spending spree. Or go crash the spaceship into a planet. How about that? We have fun crashing into a planet. How about we fly into that? See that monstrosity right there? We're just gonna fly.
Ah, I couldn't even aim for it right. I failed. Epically. Alright. What we got here? So I got 11,000 units. Let's see.
No free slots in suit inventory. Product received. Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received.
Alright. So now I'll at least have something for if I get into a dogfight, the ship won't die on me in like the first 10 seconds of the firefight. I've already been here? I've already been here? So that wasn't a black hole. That was a wormhole. That was a preset destination. Not a black hole. Black hole's a random destination. Well, at least on here they're supposed to be in theory, but
Product received. Product received.
so I'll go back there and check out mine. See what all it is. Yes, it is very bizarre. You go check out my shortcut videos. They made I don't know. Still blows my mind. And that just kind of shows like what we're missing. I already had a weapons room? So why is it whenever I summon this, it wouldn't let me spawn vehicles on a planet? Is it bugged, or is it just... what's it? Or am I just stupid and don't know? That's what I was trying to figure out. I felt like I put one on the ship specifically for using rovers on planets. And every time I tried to summon a rover, it was like, you don't have a rover platform. And I'm like, I shouldn't need a rover platform. I have the mothership. Should be able to summon it from the mothership. Not owned. Oh. No, I think it's because I've never built it. I'm a derpa. Okay, I'm a derpa. Alright, so now let's see what happens. Okay, I don't know why, but that was bug. Weird bug. I always find stuff wrong with something. That's not how that's supposed to work, but okay. There's a whole point in the upgrade on the spaceship or whatever. Nice. Dogs are being bad. Alright. Slow pokies.
Now protection falling.
Like, to the average person, if they got on my computer, they would tell me I'm crazy. They'd be like, nah, there's nothing wrong with your stuff, man. It runs perfect. I'd be like, yeah, you're right, it does run perfect. It runs fantastic. So you click shutdown. And then you just kind of want to be like, huh, what happened in between everything running fantastic and shutting down? It's just so bizarre.
Fuel required.
Why, I contacted him in Asylum here. I sent them a whole, like, book. I sent them everything from voltage specs, all that. I told him, I said, look, this is a y'all problem y'all need to figure out. I was like, hey, this is with this specific motherboard model. I was like, is the Tomahawk variant I have in the other room runs fine, but it doesn't have the graphics card that this one has. And it doesn't have the power supply that this one has. I mean, the Tomahawk board was that good, I would put much.
Fuel required.
But I'm not about, like, revamping my whole system and rebuilding both of them just to swap parts without over a shutdown glitch. Like, it just wouldn't be worth it.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
I know, for real though, the average person would be like, oh man, you're mad. You're absolutely mad. There's absolutely nothing wrong with your computer. Until they would go and play a game like, I have lots of games on here, I have about 36. All of them run fine, except for Battlefield 6 beta. I have 3 other betas on here I could go boot up and play, and they would play perfectly fine. Including Watch Dogs Legions, and that's like, that game is supposed to be a godforsaken buggy game for all platforms. That includes Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, because of all the problems it had. It runs okay, but when I get on there, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got its weird, like, menu things. It doesn't show everything in the menu. Like, one of the menu screens is, like, just colors. It just gives, like, display not shown for that, like, little EB screen in the corner of the, like, the menu. And it's just kind of funny to me, because it's like, huh, you can't display your season pass there? I wonder why. I'm pretty sure that there's probably something to do with my security. My security probably blocked most of their stuff. I mean, even games like this, my computer will play them perfectly fine, but once I start playing in multiplayer servers will run perfect until I get in servers that have more than 100 players and they possibly have cheaters, because I'll start getting all kinds of IP pings that will come up on the side and start telling me that the server IP is malicious, that there's other malicious machines in the server, leave the server. Mainly, I've only had that happen mainly with DayZ. I've had, like, every DayZ server I get into is either in Spain, Jamaica, Switzerland, Portland. I'm just like, okay, DayZ, your servers are all over the world, apparently. There's, like, their servers always come up as a Trojan horse every single time I get on DayZ. And I can still play it. It just comes up as a Trojan and gets blocked, but I'm still able to play on it. But once I leave the server, I have to go and remove the block, because once I leave it, I can't join back. So I can play on it when it's blocked. Don't ask me why that works, but it does. It's kind of hilarious, and I think it's a gaming feature that they did on the security platform for, like, certain game engines that do collect people's information, because there are some game companies that collect information on people. And it's dirty. Like, to me, that's just dirty. Call of Duty is one of them. Call of Duty collects your microphone data, your facial expressions if you have a camera hooked up, and they also collect your rage, how often you get enraged on the game. Yeah, it's pretty interesting though. Like, computers are cool, but they're also, like, frustrating too. The game consoles are the same darn thing. They're awesome. Wow, it's plug and play. Boop, boop. Put the disc in. Boop. Play. Boop. Oh, your game has an update. Well, the update's gonna take you 4 hours. Or, oh wow, it's a new game? Cool, I get to play it. Loading the server, get kicked. Loading the server, get kicked. Loading the server, queue. Loading the server, queue. Loading the server, get kicked. Like, game console? Oh my god, that's why you see so many No Man's Sky players. Like, on No Man's Sky, almost everyone on this game is going to PC, and it's not because the game isn't able to play on console, it's because console is just not strong. Like, it's strong, but it's not, like, it's durable to an extent. If you live in, like, humid climate, sticky air house, or let's say, like, somewhere really hot, like Texas, Oklahoma, California, because of their salt and moisture in the house, stuff like that. Those are the kind of places, like, your electronics are going to degrade very fast, no matter how well you take care of it. They just do. That's why, like, your cell phone, if you work out in heat, your cell phones, you'll go through them faster. You know, it just sucks, but it's just true. So, don't get me wrong, I'm very aware that, you know, eventually I'm gonna have to probably get a new CPU or possibly some new memory or a new board if the next BIOS update does not come out, because eventually this issue will persist enough to damage something. That's why I keep trying to get them to throw a BIOS update up, but they threw a stupid beta up and was like, here's your problem, it's a beta, go download beta. And I'm like, I don't want to put a beta on my computer. computer. Come on, dude. Like, y'all are supposed to have released the general version. Like, why are y'all still trying to make everybody go to the beta? Trying to make us go to the UDI beta for the M90, and I don't want the M90 beta, I want the M90 general, which is the general model, the model that's generally supposed to be meant for after testing purposes, making sure that it's secure, and then you ain't gonna have no like random crashes from, let's say, doing 3D rendering or graphic design. It'd be the last thing you would want to do is be working on a project for like your company or something like that, and all of a sudden your computer go bloop because of them messing up something in the BIOS that no longer renders, let's say, I was trying to think of a script type that's harder than C++ or Rust. And, I mean, language is meh. I don't know. I mean, I guess Java would be kind of middle ground, and then C++ is kind of higher tier, but I mean, still, like, I know there's harder script types than those. Rust is old school, but, like, the point to it is like, when it comes to, like, you know, 3D rendering, you never know what kind of technology or coding it's going to be using, especially with whatever engine it's going to be using. So, like, it's just better for me to wait for a general model and them to hurry and quit being slow. I might grab me some stuff. I do have 15 of these I could go spend. Yeah, I'm gonna go spend those. I'm gonna go spend those. Yeah, they just need to work on their BIOS. I feel like it's honestly something that they did, and I feel like it's something still possibly related with the Ring Zero Jablat. Because honestly, I had no problems with anything whenever I first built it. It ran fine. I mean, after I got rid of the beta, the BIOS that it came with, it ran fine. Whenever I first got the computer, whenever I first built it, it had a stupid beta BIOS on it, and it was running beta BIOS on top of an operating system that wasn't officially installed. So you were running a virtual based operating system on a beta BIOS, which is a big oh no. That's just something you never ever ever do on a computer. And the first thing it did is it ran fine for the first like 3 days. And then after that it was like, yeah, you don't get no defender. Your defender gets black screened. And after that happened, I was like, nope, I'm wiping it. So I went back into BIOS, wiped it, reinstalled the BIOS, and then whenever I was reinstalling the BIOS before I installed it, and I went in and looked on the website and they had a newer model, and I was like, oh, let me get the new model instead of using the one that came with the actual board. I went and got the one off their website for the board for the exact model and used that BIOS. And then it was the M70. The M70 ran great. The only problem with the M70 was it caused random microcode overvolt. So it would randomly overvolt your CPU. And they had to fix it, so they released the M80 to fix it. And then when they released the M80, they had a DDU issue with the display type, so they had to release a DDU and a CPU microcode patch. So they released a dual patch in a BIOS update. Yeah, that's why it cracks me up, because I'm like, did y'all not test it enough? Did y'all forget to do a few extra hours of testing? Like, when it comes to the testers, they do basically like benchmarks. But after they do benchmarks, they run like extreme memory diagnostics too, and then they run one set diagnostics, so it only runs one set at a time. And then they'll also like see if it, like other types of testing as well. Sometimes they'll hook a big machine up to a big industrial machine up to the computers for testing, but that is in like very extreme rare cases if they like have to go that route. Most of the time they're able to just kind of do it from one computer to another, or they're able to code from like one main unit that has their good software on it to another unit that's not coded yet. So, it's very interesting how a lot of that stuff is done. I'm still learning how it's all done. And I myself, I don't really work in the industry. I do all this research myself because I built this computer, I built another computer, and I want to start my own business in the future of building computers for people, or at least software repair. But the problem with that is everybody wants you to have a stupid degree, and I don't mind degrees. I'm not saying that they're bad, but they're great for several things. But there are some things that I feel like people can learn on their own. And yeah, a degree does help. It makes you smarter for certain aspects of the job. But the problem with a degree is it also brainwashes you into thinking you can walk in and just be like, hey, I'm number one. I'm better than everyone else. My Uncle Jonathan told me about how all that happened with him. He went to business school and IT school. His business schooling, he said whenever he got out, he basically was, the way he understood it is when he got out, he was able to go get into businessing and help a business and maybe even get into management for their business, is basically what he understood from what his degree showed. When he went to go in, they told him, no, you have to start as an employee. And he was like, well, I have this degree. And they were like, sorry, your degree doesn't mean nothing to us. You need to start as an employee and work from the ground up. So basically that was their way of saying, hey, look, we understand you learned their way of doing it, but you're going to have to learn our way of doing it. So there's a lot of like ways that companies do things. Every company is different. That's why like you have like Chevrolet. You have Chevrolet company, and then you have the Chevrolet schools. You go to school for as a Chevy mechanic, you go and work for Chevrolet. You go to school for Ford, you go and work for as a Ford mechanic for Ford. You don't go to school for Ford and then go work for a German company. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't do something like that. And that's kind of like what some of these colleges do to people. They tell them that they can go and work any job, but then when they go and apply for that company, the company's like, look, no, you need more, or you need double what you went to school for. And then it irritates you because you're like, wait a minute. I thought I only needed this degree and this certificate. And they're like, no. You need the certificate, the degree, a master's degree, and you need to have a plan when you come up here and see us. Oh, and by the way, make sure you have a few extra things and impress us too. So like, you gotta really kind of like, you gotta like wow them, you know, like you gotta have a lot for them to be like, wow, we really want this person when it comes to schooling. You ever heard the saying, you can read a book, but if you never turned a wrench, you don't know how to turn the bolt? It's basically what happens to some people in the world. They stay stuck on their phones and in textbooks, understanding the information, but they don't actually go and put their hands on it. And I'm one of them people, I have to put my hands on it. And that's where I get irritated with schools, is they make it to where, no. You need to do it in our book, or you're not doing it right. You don't get the piece of paper that tells you you're liable and able to do what you're able to do. Even though you're able to do it, you don't get the piece of paper because you didn't do it our way. And that's just kind of like where I'm like, okay, how is that fair ground as far as like schooling goes? Y'all's like, some of the schooling districts are stupefied at how much they cost. $150 per credit, $350 per credit. you have to have 35 credits or 25 credits depending on the class. Very few classes you'll come across is like maybe 15. And I've looked into a lot of it. I've even looked into the bug bounty hunting and stuff for companies and helping companies find problems with their products so they can make their products better. But the problem with that is I don't really know how I can get into that properly and how I can get into it with a company letting me work for them, you know. I don't really know how all that would work as far as like communication, product analysis, you know, things like that. And that's where I'm pretty sure I would have to go get like a dummy laptop. So they would probably put some kind of software or anti-desk on there where they observe me the whole time while I'm working. Which I could understand that as a company that is wanting you to beta test their products, they're probably going to observe you. That's why, you know, there's a lot of different things you can do in the technology field. And then there's also this whole thing I've been seeing online about how people have been dealing with like AI taking JavaScript jobs for some developers and creators. How it's messing with the commercial industry, where the commercial industry is. I'm gonna go spend all my nanites. But like, I've been hearing a lot of this stuff about AI, so you know, it makes me concerned, like, okay, if I do go take schooling and I decide all this, and then AI takes my job, and then I waste $20, $30, $40, $50,000 into schooling, depending on however much I decide, or however many certificates I decide to go for. And the next thing you know, you're irritated because the job you did want is no longer there. It no longer exists. It just is just now a concept, basically. It did exist, but now it just became a concept. You see what I'm saying? Like, the world is just changing, and I hope it becomes more of the better type, like less. I just hope the world gets better. And it's gonna be up to our generation to fix it. The older generation does not care, and until whoever it is that's controlling our government croaks over, then we'll be able to actually, our generation will actually be able to get into office and help each other. But the problem is our generation is so stuck in technology right now that none of us really know. Like, we know what's going on in the world as technology, we know what's going on in the world as news, but we don't know what's going on in the world as what's going over our heads with the governments, what they're not telling us. Like, the whole internet thing, they should be pushing a poll for that. They should not be enforcing it as a law. As a law, it should be voted by voting law of national law, grand national government law, which I believe is like 12th or 13th Amendment, of them voting. Like, it should be a voting poll. Like, there's a voting law. We should be voting for it. And we're not. And it's just, to me, it just makes me, like, question so many things that's going on in the world. And it makes me question so many things about all these companies and all these governments. More like, who is controlling everything? Because that's really where it's at now. It's obvious that there's no government. It's obvious that the government is nearly more than gone, and it's not because of the president or anything. It's because the government is dealing with problems for years, and the people just haven't been able to do much. It's nothing more than an entity. And that's the thing. It's literally what it is. It's an entity that we created, but we stopped controlling it. That's where the problem is you know, once it was Uncle Sam with a crown, it is now Uncle Sam with 2 horns and a tail. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not that the government's a great thing to have. It's always good to have laws and restrictions and policies. But policies should be pushed to the point where people are uncomfortable to even, like, pick up their phone, or are uncomfortable to get in their car and drive down the road. Like, it's madness. Okay, so I own all of this. It's just madness. Like, the world is changing, and I hope that people realize that there should have been a voting poll for everything that's going on. And there's not. It went up and over everyone's head, and they're trying to push it over everyone's head and make more flashing lights go about other things in the world. So less people know that it's going on, so then when it becomes a law, they can be like, "Oh, we told y'all that we were doing it. We told y'all." And everybody's gonna be like, "Well, y'all had all the other stuff going on. We didn't know." And they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? We told y'all." And that's just what they do. They try to play it. They try to play it cool. They try to play it cool. That's really what they did. And rules and laws are good to have, but when you push them to a point when people are annoyed because they can't pick up their own phone or get in their car and go start a business, because let's say the government does put all that on the internet. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a good example. They put all that stuff on the internet. The internet then becomes a tool for them to observe you. Okay, you might be like, okay, well, that's to protect me. Maybe they want to protect me from terrorists. Okay, sure, we'll go with that. They're protecting you from scammers and terrorists. But then what happens when a terrorist then gets in the system? Now you're compromised. Now, what if you go about it the other way? What if there was no terrorist and they sold your information without your knowledge? You'd be pissed about it. You'd be mad. So you got to look at it from the perspective is it's a con man, whether or not if it goes left or right, because they're putting it to where it makes it look like it's something good, but it's not. It's nothing more than a ploy for them to make money off of data scraping. And data scraping is crazy because they can pinpoint where you live and everything you do, everything you've ever done in your life, and everything you've ever clicked on and watched, and everything your finger has ever done on every device you ever owned, from everything and everything before. It's data scraping is very dangerous because it's an endpoint collector, and endpoints are already collected enough on us. That's what the network vaults are. Most people don't realize there is a such thing as a network vault that holds all of the network viruses and bad websites that people can't access. Sometimes it's cheaper to store things that are very, very valuable than it is to delete it. So they do things like that because they don't want to make the internet a bad place. They want to make the internet a better place. But when you turn the internet into a weapon to spy on everyone, then it's no longer a better place. Now you're a slave in your own system, in your own box, regardless if you're in bars or not. So even if you're not in bars, you're still stuck in a box. Your own device will tell on you. Let's say you didn't even do anything wrong. Let's say something happens in your neighborhood. Let's say a car gets broken into. Let's say for some reason they look at the devices in the neighborhood because they want to, and your device happened to show your car driving by or something, but it was on the other side of the housing addition. But the GPS says it was over on the other side of the housing addition because GPS is blank. And next thing you know, you're getting in trouble for something you didn't even do. And that's the problem, is whenever they start using data scraping and the internet as a weapon to control people, then you no longer have freedom. It's not necessarily about protecting kids. The internet's not for kids. The internet is the internet. That's why it's called the internet. Interactive network. Interactive network machine system. Like, jeez. It is a network for people to communicate. It is a communications device. When you turn it into a weapon against the people, you can collect credit card data and IDs, social security numbers. What do scammers want? Scammers want your social security number. The website gets breached. You're screwed. What happens when you get a captcha that comes up and says, hey, send your ID here? And it happens to be fake, but looks like the real thing that came up the day before. Next thing you know, you just got hacked. Because the government is going to let it happen. It's literally going to be like... It's just going to be this stupid... It's just going to be stupid. It's going to be like a Black Mirror effect. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to backfire on them so badly, too, because... There's a slim chance that they could accidentally misconfigure their policy. And this has already happened once. Y'all have already seen it happen with Windows. Okay, now think about this. Y'all seen it happen with Windows. Windows. Okay. Blue screen across the globe, right? Imagine them doing that to the network, but accidentally misconfiguring it across all devices around the world. Now everybody's locked out of the global structure. Because they're stupid fucks. That would be, by far, one of the most epic fail things humanity could ever do. And it would be, by far, one of the most funniest things we would ever do to ourselves. Because we wouldn't have access to anything. We literally wouldn't be able to run any companies. Nobody would have access to anything. Like, they would, nobody. Nothing. And that would just be like full-blown madness, because then they would have to create a new type of operating system, or a new system that would be able to break into the structure, but they would have to get a machine that's not coded yet. How would you get into a machine that's not coded yet if you're locked out of all the global machines? So then you'd have to go build a machine and install an operating system on it, but yet you don't have no operating systems that you can access. So then you have to go find a chip that still has an operating system on it, and then you're gonna have an operating system that's twice as old as the ones that you're locked out of. So now you're stuck with the security scenario of, oof, you got beefed security and you have crappy machinery. Have fun getting back in. You're not. You do something like that, you're literally pushing the global structure. It is just funny to me. Okay, what can we get for S-Class material? Let's see, the multi-tool, S-Class. I think I can get another S-Class for it, if I can find another one for it. But yeah, it's just the global structure. Hopefully they don't fail. Hopefully they don't do an epic fail scenario and do an oopsie daisy and then scratch their heads and be like, where do we point the finger? Like, you can't. You did it to yourselves. Like, guys, come on, quit being so airheaded. Like, I get it. You want to make the internet a way to make more money. And that's not a bad idea. But if we're going to make more money, you're just going to have to come up with a way to make more money. You already came up with freaking Bitcoin and CryptoCoin and Dogecoin and Flycoin and whatever else and Pennycoin and whatever other kind of coin there is. Probably something with a cat and a meow and a dog and a horse and whatever else. I mean, it's funny, but they just no, just no, big no. It's a big no. It's a big no.
Product received.
Like, it really is. It's honestly like one of the worst ideas I think they've ever came up with. And the cybersecurity, and it's actually funny, the cybersecurity industry has been arguing with the government about it. because the government was like, hey, can y'all build a back? So first it was Canada or Europe or whatever, UK. UK did the whole safety thing for the children. So the UK did that, and then I think it was Canada was like, hey, let's come up with a way to backdoor all encrypted devices, but only for the good guys. The United States government was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do what YouTube is doing with the UK, and let's do what Canada's doing. You know what the United States government cybersecurity team said? They said, guys, that's not gonna work. You can't build a bridge and expect good people to walk across it and bad people for it to fall and crumble on. That's not how a bridge works. So when it comes to internet connection and connecting, you're connected or you're disconnected. And they're like, well, that's not how that works. You can backdoor it. You can encrypt your own backdoor of an encrypted backdoor of a backdoor of an encrypted backdoor of a backdoor of an encrypted. And it's like, no, y'all can't. It's like, that is not how technology encrypts. It encrypts one way, it decrypts the other way, but when it decrypts, it has to be recrypted back to her. It's just like, oh my god, what are they doing? It's like, stop. And go get on a computer and learn how it works. That's my whole thing to like what half of them don't understand. Have they ever like physically sat on a computer and downloaded something on it? Not just like went into Microsoft and clicked, ooh, downloaded an app from Microsoft. I'm talking about they physically got on Google and tried to download software from the fucking internet. It is not easy. It is easy going in and clicking download and set up, sure. Yeah, sure, you can go in and click on any website, click download and set up, sure. You're probably going to end up with malware or a virus that way if you don't make sure it's legitimate from a legitimate location or a legitimate source, or at least not from GitHub. Because it's funny to me that people go to GitHub and they're like, hey, you should come here and get some software. GitHub's got the best software ever, man. You know, it's like the best you could ever have. It's super strong software. Just come to GitHub. Next thing you know, you're on GitHub and you're fucking getting like hacked or something, and it's just like, bruh, what did you do? Why?
Product received. Product received. No free slots in suit inventory.
It's funny to me though, because there's about to be a lot of things that are gonna break when they do this. There's gonna be a lot of things that break, and then there's gonna be a lot of fake websites that come up because of other websites going down for maintenance. So then there's gonna be other websites posing as the websites that are down for maintenance, like Amazon or Target. Hell, probably even Walmart wouldn't even surprise me. I mean, they're companies and they're on the internet. And when they do this whole switch up, it's going to affect their websites too, because people go and purchase stuff with credit card information on websites like those. So now they're not just going to require your credit card information. They're going to want you to verify an email or at least make an account with them, or go and buy their Walmart Plus or Target Plus or their Amazon Prime, just to make sure you're safe as a human and you're not a robot. Like, they're gonna, yeah, like a lot of people don't realize they're not just gonna be changing these small platforms. They're not just gonna be changing YouTube. They're gonna go and mess with Xbox. They're gonna go and mess with actual game companies. They're gonna go and mess with phone companies like Apple and stuff. Apple already done told the UK and Canada that they can kick rocks on their policies. And Canada and Apple got into an actual warfare, hacking warfare, where Canada, I don't know if it was it Canada? It was like Canada or UK. One of them tried to break into Apple because they were pissed. And Apple was basically like, haha, our security's better than what y'all thought it was. Keep trying. And Apple was just teasing them. Apple was honestly just teasing them. They weren't teasing them like in a way like, haha, y'all are bad. They were teasing them in a way like, you know, like, why are you trying to mess with us? What did we do to you? Like, you know, you're trying to implement something that we don't want. It's our company. So, yeah, haha. If you want to buy our products, good luck. You know, we'll keep selling them here in America, everywhere else in the world. Y'all can buy them? Sure. But until we resolve this issue, you're gonna have a problem. Like, and that's just companies. Everybody's having a problem with it. Every company, every corporation, everyone is dealing with it differently. And it's all because they're gonna have to spend money on their websites. So think about that for a second. All the companies having to spend money on their websites. So then the government then makes money. That's all it is. The government wants companies to spend money on their websites, so they have to dump money into the system that they're holding money from. Think about it like this, to then go back into the government. But the whole problem with it is it's irritating the people. So you're trying to create something to make money. Why not just go make a new company type, or go come up with something that maybe people would be willing to jump into? Like, why not? But the problem with that is they don't know what people would like. I think they could come up with something maybe. I mean, you got something like Shark Tank that's already around. But I mean, why not on like a state level where people? Yeah, I guess you have platinum. I guess you could go invent something to get a platinum. So I mean, that's technically what that is. I mean, like, in a way, like, there's a lot of things that are just changing in the world, but, like, they implement all this security stuff to the internet. It's not necessarily for security. It's going to be use it as a weapon. It's going to be making it harder for normal people to go out and, let's say, be an entrepreneur, or let's say go out and go make their own company, or go out and become a writer and post books and stuff like that, because the internet's going to be so locked down that even something like writers are going to have trouble posting their books. It's going to have all kinds of impact. I mean, look at podcasts. I mean, it could affect how podcasts work. Instead of you being able to go in and just click listening to a podcast, you have to verify it. And then from there, verify, send them your data. Then they have your data for 2 or 3 or 4 years. And then they make money off of it, selling it to like Taiwan or India or Germany or Switzerland. And all them companies governments will be happy to buy our data to turn around and sell it to more info brokers, will then sell it to scammers, and then scammers will then bug you and call you and say, hey, would you like to have a car extended warranty? I mean, I'm being facts about it. I'm spitting facts about it. Like, it's full-blown facts. That is just how that's just how the internet works. That is how information works. And that is how information gets sold. And that's how your information is going to get more scams. And that's how more people are going to end up getting scammed. I also feel like, that could be a ploy into getting scammers to get into the scam networks, which could be a ploy for the government to either make money off of scammers or be scammers themselves, like India does. India has a lot of scam call centers. Their government plays it off as if they know nothing about it, but the reality is their government's actually in on it. Like, it's obvious. I mean, it's obvious. Like, if people are brain dead enough not to realize it, then they're brain dead. I mean, I guess brain rot, but brain rot is brain rot. So, and that's really where we are in this world right now. We're in an era of brain rot. We are in an era where people are getting brain rotted, and it's affecting all of us. And what I mean by brain rot, I mean you're physically like, not just stupid, not just knowing something. I'm talking, you just don't understand or pay attention to anything. You don't want to. And there are a lot of people like that in our society right now that don't really want to do anything to... They don't know... I wouldn't say don't want to do anything. I would say they don't know how to do anything to help themselves or help people. And a lot of that is to do with the government. And the government has caused a lot of it. So, I mean, I kind of had to rephrase that. It's just, you know, people that don't want to do anything, that don't care, though, are the ones that can get irritated. And those that want to do something but are stuck just don't know where to go from getting unstuck. It's just... The world is definitely going to be different in about 10 years. And I'm all for, like, making the world, you know, more futuristic and stuff. Cool. Sure. Whatever. But don't get to, like, the point where if we don't understand technology, we shouldn't release it, for one. We shouldn't release anything that we don't understand. And for two, we shouldn't release anything that we haven't done exclusive testing on. And for three, we shouldn't make promises about things that we don't know, like, and don't enforce things that it's gonna affect the entire economy and globe without a voting poll. I'm sorry, but the voting law, there's a voting law. They should have put a voting poll up. I'm sorry, but I still feel like they should. But the problem is they put a voting poll up, and the voting poll gets, let's say, breached. Then you end up with a malicious voting poll, which then ends up getting fake votes, and then it then ends up putting something up that we didn't want, and they claim we voted for. So they could even use the voting poll against us. So I mean, by rights, everybody should definitely not want it, and the government should not be pushing something that they don't understand. You can't build a bridge for the good guys and expect the bad guys to fall and crumble on the bridge. It's just not how a bridge works. I mean, connection is connection. When you're connected to the internet, you're live. You're live. You know, that whole, we're live now, folks. Do they not, like, understand that from, like, back then? It's like how a camera rolls. It's how the internet fucking works. It's live. It runs. It works. It just, to me, it's like... I keep flying back and forth to the two. It's because I've been trying to upgrade my character. It's kind of hard getting upgrades for your character when you don't have much of a farm and you don't have much of a gear or slots. So like getting upgrades for stuff takes time. So I got all this. I need that though.
Technology recharge.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, they should definitely know that the internet works one way. You're connected or you're disconnected. That is how the internet has existed. That is how the internet functions. It is no different than an on switch being on or off, or your computer being boot or bop. Like, or beep or poof or whatever. Like, it's just like, do you expect a car to drive without turning the key? Do you expect a self-driving car to self-drive without knowing the firmware? Or without having a satellite? It does not work that way. You cannot develop something that doesn't work without the functionality. And that's basically what they're running right now. They're wanting the internet to be one way functioned, but not function the other way. But the problem with that is you're gonna cause a lot of like stupidness with the internet. It's gonna be so wonky. You're gonna make it so buggy. Imagine your video game being a buggy beta, right? You know, it crashes all the time. Imagine the internet becoming a buggy mess of nothing but glitches and irritation because of what they decide to do. It's so irritating that it's not even worth picking up and typing in on a search bar. And that's gonna be where everybody should be drawing the line is we shouldn't be intentionally trying to make it a buggy mess. Like why they developers spend a lot of their hard time just fixing bugs alone on their operating systems, on their video games, on their drivers, on their factories, whatever else. You know, companies spend a lot of time fixing stuff that they're already developing. Why do we need to implement something to the internet that's going to cause the entire government to have to go into development? But the thing is, if that's their idea, is to put the whole government into development mode and then shove all the people off to the side and say, oh, y'all don't get to own no companies, y'all don't get to develop, y'all don't get to do nothing unless you ID and verify. Oh, we sell your data, we get to make money off of it. Oh, you want to make money, sorry, it's going to be $5,000 for that class. Oh, you want to own that business and have that business, it's going to cost you another like $50,000-$60,000 plus another $20,000 in schooling, and next thing you know, they're over here making all this fucking money off of you while they're still selling your data and making money off of you and still making money off of you. Even when you're not giving them money, they're making money off of you. Even right now, they're making money off of this freaking live stream, and I'm not making nothing. They make money off of me when I'm not making money. They make money off of all of us. They make money off of all of us every day. Think about it like this: 34 million endpoints collected from 7 to, let's say, to your like 20. Okay, well, let's say from when you're 13 to your like 25. Okay, let's go with that. So 34 million endpoints. Out of the 34 million endpoints, they probably made at least $4 to $5 million off of your data collection. Or let's nerf that. Let's nerf that. Let's nerf it by 2. Let's say 500,000. So they've made 500,000 off of 10 years of your life. How come you don't get none of it? How come you don't get some of that earnings? You know, like, like, they expect people to be happy saying, okay, y'all can do whatever y'all want. We don't mind. It's just ridiculous. Like, they make money off of people, and people don't realize it. They make money off all kinds of stuff. And it's not bad for companies to make money. It's good. Like, they should make money. That's how society functions. That's how a society physically exists. It's with a trading system. But when the trading system is pushed one way to where it only functions on one side of the basket, then that's no longer a trading system, and that's slavery. And giving the illusion of here's something that you can have, but you get to stay stuck in your little box. And to me, that's not like, okay, you're no longer playing fair. You're now playing on one side of the playing field. Like, what the fuck? Like, WTF? Like, are you serious? Like, okay, so the base. shouldn't require both of. Oh, I must have moved off the road. You shouldn't require both of them. No. Why did I wire that? Oh, I must have wired it to a light that only turns on.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Oh. Oh no, bro. Did I really? Do I have like a dead battery? I bet you I do have a dead battery somewhere. Some of these lights ain't running. Oh, there it is, depleted. Wow, I didn't know I had one battery that was separate from all the others. How did I manage to separate you from the rest of the grid? Huh. That's interesting.
Technology recharge.
So did it come on and turn off? I don't fight unders. No, it's on now. What happens when you don't build a dedicated clearing base? Okay, what's the bottom one hooked up to? Bottom one says it's not.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
I see what I did. I'm a derpa. Okay, so I got one wire running, other wire not. I got one switch running, other switch is not. That's... Oh, ah. Oh, and then I flip one switch off, turns the portal off, so that's in case if I'm AFK and someone joins my server. Hey, let's say I'm not like playing, I'm AFK. You always want to build your base at least like 2 stories. That's my recommendation for at least where your player log off area is. And you want to make it to where your player log off area is. It doesn't necessarily have to be hard to get to, but it needs to be off the ground. And at least above one layer of like the building. So if someone joins your server and let's say your base isn't loaded in for them, you're above them. So then whenever the base does finally load in, if they try and kill you, it loads in and then they're stuck behind the wall or the floor. Now, I've only died once to a player killer. They'll frustrate the crap out of you. Me, I won't kill another player as long as they don't shoot at me. Once they shoot at me, they're dead. No thoughts. You shoot at me, you're gone. Especially in this game, I'm very friendly until someone shoots at me and then I go full ham. And this gun, you don't want to go ham with this gun.
Free slots in suit inventory.
Are invisible on you. Be like dun 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 dun. Yeah, and then I gotta work on building a bit back part of the base. This is gonna be fun, trying to build rooms, and then I'm gonna have like each room be like its own little like flower area for plants, plant care. And then from there, I'm gonna build over there for the road rooms and stuff. For all the road rooms and stuff. So it'd be a very interesting base. I haven't built a base like this in a while. I should have did a better job wiring it. I think whenever I wire up over there, I'll make a dedicated breaker. I usually make breaker switches to power down parts of the base when there's problems. Because I don't like dealing with bases having electrical problems. So this base here, I've been using all sensors because I don't want electrical problems with the base. Make a loop or something somewhere in a base. Next thing you know, the loop gets connected to something it shouldn't get connected to. Next thing you know, your base is over here doing some weird things. You're spinning forever trying to figure out which wire it was connected to. It shouldn't have connected. Next thing you know, you just go full ham and start deleting wires. And then have to rewire everything. I don't know if I have the supplies on this. Do I have the stuff to build containers? Yes, I do. Only for one. Huh? That's why I said, man, this computer runs perfectly fine. It only messes up when it shuts down. It's so irritating too. I don't understand it. It is so irritating. It's almost like it taunts me too when it does it. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna power down. Oh yeah? I didn't power down. I don't know why it's doing that. Just all the peripherals off, just the mouse and keyboard off, just the monitor off, terminates all processes, good. Stops at stopping processes, stopping, stop, started, restarting. Everything completes restart. And then it goes black, and then everything terminates, and then I'm just like, And the computer goes, "Nerd," just sitting there on, just no care in the world of why it should be on whenever it should have turned off. Yeah. I think the whole rights to repair thing is crazy too. How they're trying to see about how like one of them like CEOs that worked for. Oh, actually, she wasn't even a CEO. Some lady that worked for iPhone that was talking smack about rights to repair and how, you know, new consuming is great for the people. It's the whole reason why we do consuming is, you know, you should buy your new products when the products are outdated, not keep the old ones. And it was a bunch of other crap she was saying too. And something about how like old products end up creating waste. People should learn to just, you know, get rid of their old products and go to new. And it was very like interesting because that day her own her iPhone battery just like blew up on the phone, just it quit working. And then she was like texting people online like, "Hey, why can I get my phone fixed? Does anybody know a repairman that can fix my phone?" It's like, "Yeah, sure, lady. You could have had somebody fix your equipment, but now nobody wants to help you. That's fine." That's what you've been seeing me do. All y'all have been seeing me do is fly around and spend salvage data and collect salvage data and do small modifications to things. This game was a very long process of collecting items and getting material. Because everything is time consuming. There's no load screens, thank God. The only load screen you get on this game is this stupid teleport. Warp. Like, warp. About it. Yeah, no, I thought it was funny though with the MSI technician was, it's like, yeah, you know, you should try reseating your CPU, you know, I bet you that would fix it, and, or maybe it's your memory, you know, reseat your memory, your graphics card, and I'm like, I already reseated my graphics card, I've already taken it out just to see if I could replace the battery, because I was thinking maybe the battery had low voltage, which was causing BIOS errors, and they were like, yeah, you can remove the battery. And I was flat out like, actually, I can't. It's a Z790, and y'all decided to put a battery locking pin on Z790s and going up. And I said, so I don't know what y'all's idea was on that. And they're like, oh, yeah. You tried, like, checking all your cables and connections and plugs and wires, and checked your drives and made sure your drives are snug. I'm like, look, dude, you want to know the truth? You could take a piece of paper and slide it between my fans and my memory, and that's how close it is to my memory sticks. My memory sticks are flat. Like, they're flat. They're not curved. They're not specially curved or nothing. They're flat sticks, and they're not like ugly. They're the white ones. And T-Create is like fantastic memory. Do 3D graphic design and everything on it because it's literally what it's designed for. And it was like, you should try reverting all your BIOS settings to default. I'm like, yeah, I've done that too. I've also played around with XMP, turning it on, off, and trying XMP1 and XMP2. Like, it only messes up with the interface of Windows and clicking shutdown. I said, other than that, I can play games on it all day. It's at 33,000 centimeters, and then he's like, well, you degraded it running benchmarks. And I was like, degraded it running benchmarks? How's it degraded running benchmarks? Like, degradation doesn't happen like that. Your computer on average does about 35 million calculations a day. Actually, not even a day, that's a second. Let me rephrase that, it probably does over like a trillion or more a day. Because computers are insane on how many numbers they run nowadays. Planet's so far away. Just wait. This planet is big. We're way up here in the sky. Wow. What? I know I'm not tripping. Am I just hovering above the planet? Am I not able to go land on it? Unable to land. Land area not clear. What? Fall to the planet. This planet should not be this big. Dude, it is. It is that big. Holy like, what? Dude, what? There's no way. There's no way. Is that big? Dude, most of the planets are just dropped down into it. It's just like, shoo, there it is. There's the planet. There's the ground. This game's like, nah, here's you a planet that's like so massive, you're gonna take 1,000,000 years to fly onto it. That's weird.
Extreme Sentinel Planet.
I don't know what was up with that. That was weird.
Extreme Sentinel Planet.
That was very weird. I've never seen
Extreme
that
Sentinel
happen with
Planet.
the spaceship. It's funny though. Let's get some orbs. Come on out. We'll get some orb thieves today. We got room for orbs. Yeah, we got room for orbs. Orbin. Orbin. You can't see me. I'm the invisible man. You can't see me. I'm the invisible man. I'm just gonna keep keep feeling orb. Because I'm the orb man. Bye. Whoa. I want one of those as a pet. Do I have one of those as a pet? I do. I want one of those as a pet. It's so high up there. Maybe I'll fly up there. Hey! Come get your snack! Drink that. Not for y'all. I wanted to give it to one of those. I want one of those as a pet. Oh, whoa. What? I don't have a lighter. Damn, I'm trying to get elbowed.
Warning. Sentinel drones activated.
Oh no. You're mad at me because I didn't give you your food, huh? Animals are chasing me because you're mad because you ain't got no food. You're gonna get smacked down. I told you you'd get the smack down,
Slots
bro.
in suit inventory.
Like, I don't want the smack.
walker detected. Weather warning. Incoming storm. Life support power on.
probably not wise of me to just do just now. I'm dipping. I'm gone. 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 I can't battle one of those in this condition. I'll end up dying. I'm in permadeath too. Guys, I got me. Is the mothership still in the server? It's still at 10. It's still at 10. Okay, yeah, the mothership's still here. Oh, where's the mothership? Oh, the mothership's just still sending them out at me. Isn't it? It just... Was it because I was next to the space station still?
Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Scan detected.
Urn of Death? Okay,
Technology recharge.
there's still one on this side. Honestly, that was gonna be harder. It really wasn't hard. Well, I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I was like, oh, probably do another one. It's like, but yes, this is the PC that crashed on Battlefield 6, and it runs fine. I had so many people try telling me, oh, it's just a you problem. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I'm sorry I don't run Microsoft Defender. Microsoft Defender be nothing but spyware. I was like, I run a highly extreme security because I download mods and stuff. I download a bunch of other software, third-party software. I just download a lot of different shit. So it's always good to have good security on your computer because Windows Defender, honestly, I think it sucks. Every time I've ever used Windows Defender and I've had all this security on and everything, I've somehow, some way, I've had the computer get either start acting janky or ends up getting spyware on it. Last computer I had, it got entities which fried the BIOS. Entities was a wasn't a DIL, it wasn't an EXD, it wasn't a Java or anything. It was a 0-bit file, and it connected to millions and millions and millions of different devices globally. But I sent it to Microsoft. I sent them the map and everything. I said, hey, look, here's y'all something to go look at. I don't know what this is. They're just like, it's just funny. It's like, shouldn't be connecting to Android, iPhone, Mac, Linux, Windows 10, Windows 11. Like, it shows everything, all kinds of different servers. I sent them it. I said, here, so this is a file on a laptop. I reformatted it like 3 times, and the file is still on there. Like, I'm pretty sure it embedded itself in the BIOS. And it was like a few days went by, and all of a sudden the keyboard and mouse on it was like all fried and stuff on the laptop. Like, it was all like flip-flopped, and random like letters would type through it. You wouldn't even be able to get it to type correctly. It was kind of funny. It's actually really hilarious. So like that's one of the reasons why I stopped using Microsoft Defender. And not only that, the last laptop before that one, my father had, and we had Cox high-speed internet, and internet got breached. Their server did. And during the time that Cox was breached, they didn't really say nothing to anybody, and they didn't return their services off. They just kind of kept letting their services go, even though it was breached. And in return, we had some people break into our internet and try to call us. They tried to basically like do the house phone. They called the house phone and tried to say, yeah, hi, we're Cox high-speed internet. You know, sorry, sir, but your payment didn't go through. You're gonna have to redo your payment. And then, as my dad was like talking to him, he was like, really, if it didn't go through, then why doesn't the Wi-Fi work? If it didn't go through, my Wi-Fi wouldn't be working. And next thing you know, they're like arguing over the Wi-Fi. And the dude's like, hey, go get on your computer. And they were already logged on. They already bypassed Windows security, Windows Defender. They were already on the computer through remote connection. They were on Windows. They like remote connected to it through Windows remote connection, not AnyDesk, not none of that, through Windows. And they ended up frying the computer because they put like 10,000 different files on there, which were probably all different types of malware. And it fried that laptop. Like, it fried it. Put a big burn mark, probably the size of a quarter, on the motherboard. And the hard drive was cooked. I mean, literally, like, sparks were shooting out the side of it. My dad, we had some people come out from the company, Cox. They supposedly sent somebody out to fix our computer technician, which is probably the cheapest one they could find. Dude takes apart the computer, doesn't even know how to put it back together. It's like, yeah. You shouldn't be a computer technician if you don't know how to put it together. We ended up arguing with them over that, and they ended up giving us a free laptop, and the laptop was loaded with bloatware when we got that one. So, like, every time we've ever gotten a laptop, they've been trashed. That's why I don't trust laptops. I don't trust them. And it's not that they're bad machines, it's just that they come pre-installed with bloatware, they come pre-installed with software. You don't get to configure it the way that you want to in like a tower. You kind of get locked out of a lot of crap. Laptops, I just can't stand. Too much babysitting the machine. At least a tower, I mean, it can be problematic, but it doesn't have to, like, you don't have to, like, move it around. It doesn't, it's in one place, it stays hooked up, it stays charged, and it works. Laptop, you break the hinge on it, damn thing's no good. So yeah, we played on here for about 2 hours now. Computer's not cared, not one bit. It's not stuttered, lagged, froze, jolted, freezed, threw up, crashed, blue screened, any of that. So that's why I keep telling everybody it's the BIOS with the restart and shutdown that I do know is the M80 BIOS. And then the Battlefield 6 thing that happened was TPM 2.0 triggered from my CPU and motherboard and my security. So my security policy flagged the game. Okay, but since the game was a beta and it was signature assigned, the motherboard was like, nah, it's safe. Well, the CPU was like, nah, it's safe. And then TPM 2.0 for Windows 11 and Windows was like, nah, it's not safe. So it got like safe, not safe kind of scenario. So it would launch it, it would function, but then it would crash it. Because the security, the last layer of security was like, no, this is not safe. But the main layers of the security were all giving it the yes. You know, like the main portions of it that would put it in quarantine or would put it in deletion. So from all the bit of the research that I've done is that it triggered TPM 2.0, and TPM 2.0 gave the CPU no signal, no boot, which basically blocked the CPU itself from being able to receive signal, which can corrupt the microcode on the CPU and it can corrupt the BIOS. And if the BIOS gets corrupted, you end up with a paperweight, you know. So that was my concern about it, was me ended up with a corrupted BIOS and not being able to revert it back. That's also why I've been complaining to them, and I could go back one BIOS model, but the problem with that is then I end up with an overvolt, and then I have to go through and undervolt my BIOS. This BIOS is vaulted correctly for everything as far as I know. The only thing that I mentioned to MSI that told him that seemed a little weird with voltage was the memory. Is that every once in a while the memory on the second stick would fluctuate quite often. And the dude was like, well, how often is quite often? I was like, well, the main stick is like maybe fluctuates every 30 seconds to 1 minute. I said the second stick is fluctuating every like 10 to 15 seconds. And he was like, I think that's normal. That's literally what he said. He was like, I think that's normal. He was like, BIOSes do a lot of different things. He was like, I'll have to relay that information. That's about it. Other than that, I sent them a list of all of my specs, sent them a list of all of my voltages and wattages and everything, because I was telling them, I was like, look, I was like, if this is this motherboard model, then there's probably only a small number of people that are experiencing this bug. I talked to a guy the other day at my job that has a computer very similar to what I have, and he was telling me that his does the same thing. He says, but it only does it very rarely. He says he's only seen it do it once or twice with the whole shutdown, freeze up, black screen. He said he really didn't even know that that was a problem. He said he just thought it was just something that was rare. It was like it just happened every so often. He's like, I didn't really think anything of it. I told him, I said, I don't blame you. I said, first time, maybe the second time it happens, you'd probably think it's a fluke. I was like, that would be normal. I was like, anybody would. I was like, but when it happens like 5 times within a 3-month time span, and then it happens 12 times within a 6-month time span, and it's like, okay, you can only catch it on an occasion when the computer just decides to have a bad day. That's really what it is too. It like decides when it wants to have a bad day, and it's like kind of goofy. You know, all this didn't start till the whole Ring Zero thing happened. That's why a part of me is like, it's BIOS, because it didn't start till after Ring Zero. So, hopefully they fix it, and they realize that there's a problem with the motherboard variant of M80s for Z790s, because that's ridiculous. But like, other than that, I can play games on it all day. It does not care. The machine runs fine. It goes in sleep mode and hibernation just fine. It just doesn't like to shut down. And I know that from experience because I had turned on sleep mode for fun to see how that would work. To see if that even works properly, to see if it would crash. And sure enough, within the computer sitting and idling for 1 hour, it goes to like sleep mode. It just shuts down, but it doesn't shut down all the way. It shuts down but leaves the operating system running in a sleep state in the memory, which then it just boots up perfect and it shuts down fine that way. But using standard shutdown, just shutting completely off, it does not like doing that. And I've done some research on that, and some people are saying that that's because of Intel's counter. Intel likes to count how long it's operating for, regardless if it's on or off. And to me, I just think that's stupid. It's like there's no reason for it to. I was like, I don't know how accurate that is. I was like, I myself, I mean, I looked in Task Manager. It does occasionally not have the accurate times. Like sometimes, like if I was to go look at it now, just close the game down because basically done. I'm about to end the stream anyways. So yeah, CPU uptime 3 hours, 8 minutes, 46 seconds. Okay, so no, it's correct. It's running correct, but there's been times where I've checked it and it said like 5 days and 37 hours and 12 minutes, and I had to do a little bit of research on that, and I found out that Intel really does do that. It does like to have uptime, and it's because of hibernation and sleep. If you turn off hibernation and sleep, it will usually shut down and shut completely down, and I have hibernation and sleep turned off. The only functionality that puts the computer in sleep mode is idle. So it specifically has to sit in idle for up to like 2 hours, 3 hours. And then it just goes into sleep mode. Other than that, shutting down from here or clicking the power button just shuts off. That's how I've had it set since. And it's worked better that way. But they just need to update the BIOS because I still feel like it's the BIOS. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. You know, I know y'all probably had fun listening to me rant and had fun listening to me be goofy. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. I was like, subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.